things you got going now with the book, what the business is. First off, I don't think any like artists out here like created a book. So how did the book come about? What made you want to write a book?
This kind of run deep. It's just a collection of my journey, from my experience with music, like the music, and coming from being an artist and being attracted to the business side of things along the way, and just like by default having to take care of a lot of the business. And so with that, just I gained a lot of knowledge about business and the music business and the different areas that you have to take care of. That's important when just areas like marketing, or how important it is to rehearse for shows, and taking care of your publishing and networking. And it's really like a lot of the basic shit that sometimes we get scatterbrained about, and to just have this is more like a guide. You could tap into this shit, and and just kind of let people know the importance of registering your name as an artist, as a business. Just simple things like that. So when you do your taxes, you might have it registered under your record label or whatever if you're a label. But if you're just an artist, like me, Young Doe, I registered Young Doe as an artist. So when I do my taxes for the bread I'm getting through Young Doe, shit like that, you know what I mean? So we just tapping in. I felt like it was necessary, and me and my manager, Nucci, he been there most of my journey, and a lot of this process started through having opportunities, which he helped me have certain opportunities when I started getting on the road and doing shows out of town. And he's really connected and shit, and he was just a go-getter when it come to doing shows and booking shit out of town, and using his network, and being able to see somebody passionate. Like he didn't really give a fuck about getting rich off rap. He was passionate about helping artists and adding value to the culture, and opening up doors, inspiring people around them, and that's something I seen in myself anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it was motivating, and so the book more so came about. I had developed a curriculum, because last year I taught a class for youth. At the Struggle of Love. So every Monday I would go and teach them different things, like the business side and the creative side. So it was a lot of, so I had a whole curriculum that was set up week for week. Shout out to Janine Duran, Dr. Duran, for built my curriculum. She took all of this knowledge. So this started off with a lot of knowledge, and I had all of these different papers all over my kitchen table and shit, sticky pads, and from all of this research and exploring I was doing, you know what I'm saying? And then so I'm like, damn, how I'm gonna consolidate all this shit, you know what I'm saying? I knew I could do it because I'm always optimistic. And just eventually I got it consolidated, and then once I was able to see the curriculum in the format that it was in, it inspired the book. I'm like, this shit I already know, and a lot of shit I learned, because I used to study this book. I'll say back when I was like 19, I had got this book, Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business, and I was studying it. I was putting the little sticky tabs and shit on certain chapters and highlighting and just really studying that shit. And this is back when, like I said, 18, 19, and 20 and shit like that. And that was instilled in me. I knew I was attracted to the business side of the shit. And so moving fast forward, it's crazy to have a book about the music business. And you know,
Right.
the attention spans is short these days,
Right.
especially people in music and rapping and doing shit like that. So I wanted to condense it and not have nothing too huge,
Right,
like
right.
you know what I'm saying, a motherfucking Bible or nothing. And so it's
Yeah.
more like a guide, and you know, it's very, you know, this is a very valuable piece of motherfucking product right here. This shit motivate you and give you some guidance and some resources. You know, we talk about um, different festivals and shit and give you some leads on different festivals that's good to go to as an independent artist. So, you know, it's really crafted for the independent artists. Make sure y'all get that shit, what the business is. You know what I'm saying? By Desmond Carter and Charles Truth. That's my pseudonym, my PNA. And, you know, I just feel like this shit was necessary for the culture. You know what I'm saying? I feel like hopefully a lot of young cats tap into this shit.
That's impressive.
Shit like that, man. And, and I got the credentials. You know what I'm saying? The experience. And, like, right now I'm in school. You know what I'm saying, for music business. Working on my bachelor's. I don't know if I want to talk about that.
No, you good. Okay.
So
I was curious.
I go to Full Sail University.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
is that like in Colorado? Is it
no,
online?
I'm doing the online course.
Okay.
It's an accelerated course, and so I'm doing that right now. But that shit it's a beautiful thing, you know, just learn.
Yeah.
It really helps a lot with the professional development part. You know, you learn how to do a lot of things dealing with, you know, marketing analysis and just how to present yourself as a leader and all of the qualities and different levels in corporations and businesses and how they operate. And, you know, once you just understand that and get that in your head, it's good for you. You know, it's healthy for me because, you know, it helps us understand how business really operate, because a lot of people had this false idea of how the music business go, because a lot of artists, they just more on the creative side. You know you dope and your shit should be making some money, but it ain't nobody on the other end handling your business to make sure money's getting made. You know what I'm saying? And you think these rich people is supposed to just grab you and put you in a fucking position. No, you got to work towards that position. It's like anything else. Build your relationships with these people. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. So that's like so important to know. I don't give a fuck who an executive is or the biggest dude you done met from all these little companies and shit. You can't expect them to just put you on. They don't know you. It's a lot of shit that come with this shit, you know. The way you interact with people, your chemistry. You might be a hothead. They don't want to deal with that shit. It might add stress to their life, but people don't think of that. So it's more about building your relationships. You know what I'm saying? And the more relationships you build, you learn how to treat people and how to deal with people, and all of that's what's important. You feel me? Nigga, what the business is, nigga. You feel me? That's how I feel.
Even just like a quick side note on what you just said, like I notice if I post good music, it'll still go up on the blog. But I notice a lot of times the stuff that goes more viral or whatever is like, it'll be random stuff like 100 Pack Savvy buys custom box day baby shoes. You know, like people gravitate towards like other things than the music. So that shows like how important, like you said, the business is and the different avenues outside of just being creative and having a good sound.
Yeah, being personable. Yeah. This is not one dimensional, and it's not a one size fits all type of industry. You know what I'm saying? So all that type of stuff is important. You know what I'm saying? The way you interact, targeting the audience that's relatable to you and shit like that. Like all that shit's important. You know, none of us have mastered it all, and some of us, you know, it's better have certain strengths and certain weaknesses. You know, in this music shit. So.
Oh, that's real.
You know, we navigating through it, man. You know, I just want to add my value to it. So that's part of, you know, why this is. I feel like I just owe this to the culture, you know, based on my experience, whatever I'm You know, wherever I'm at with it, I want to share this experience with people. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers ain't going to be able to reach me one day, boy.
Yeah.
This shit I'm working on,
I want to get
I'm
into.
going to be too busy.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I was gonna ask about school since you brought up school. How was like your high school career? Like, did you finish your high school and then like did you just start college, or what made you get back into going to school and stuff?
School. No, I didn't finish high school. I got my GED. So that's that. That's how school went. And then as far as college, when I got my Fed case, I enrolled in college because I wanted to do graphic design. Like when we first started doing music and shit, like start dropping CDs, I was making all the covers on Corel Draw. I learned how to use Corel Draw when I was in the juvenile facility, and so I was making all our covers at first. And I kind of had a, I had a thing for graphic design and shit.
Yeah.
And that was that. But I didn't finish that. You know what I'm saying? And so just through my journey with music and me kind of gravitating to the business side, and then the older I get, my passion shifts a little bit with towards certain shit I'm passionate about, but then you got to clear. You know what I'm saying? You got to clear a path for certain other things because you can't do it all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to learn where to put your energy. And so I'm just more attracted to a lot of this business shit. And so I felt like, how I grew up, the way I grew up in the environment and community I grew up in, I had a disadvantage to the corporate world. You know what I'm saying? My demeanor, the person I am, if I just want to be myself, a lot of corporates not really just going to understand it. I'm not going to understand their language either. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that should keep me from being included in bigger rooms. So I felt like, just like I say, be a go-getter and go build relationships, I felt like it was important for me to push myself and go get the credentials. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I had so much experience to where it's like it's just bugging me. Like I got this experience that'll drive you crazy if you don't take it to the next level, because you're capable of doing it. So I'm like, I got to get the credentials with this experience. You know what I'm saying? And it was well needed. And so throughout that journey, I've been just navigating and learning a lot of personal and professional development stuff, and then learning how to do certain things, and then other things I'm learning is aligning with shit I already knew, and teaching me how to touch up on it. Every day shit is changing, bro, and it's a lot of key things I learned about keeping up with the trends and shit like that. And we know this shit, That's why we see newspapers and news and media so you know what's going on around you. So it's important to do that in your industry too. Whatever you doing, you got to know who's hot and what type of songs people's gravitating to, and knowing the behavior of your audience and how to target them and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just important. And so,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's real. Okay. What about your daughter's drink?
Yeah, my
daughter. Lemonade, right? Or it's different flavors as well. And it's through connected with Exotic Pop, right?
Yep, she did a deal with Exotic Pop on one of the drinks. She got a strawberry banana cool cup. You know what I'm saying? With Exotic Pop, it's a collaboration with them. And then aside of that, she got 9 flavors of her own sugar water. You know what I'm saying? It's called Sugar Water. Y'all can check it out at sugarwaterbeverages.com. The IG is sugarwater__. It's sugar, SUGA. You know what I'm saying? So she moving the crowd. I'm proud of her. You know what I mean? She get a lot of support from the community. And she just recently opened up a brick and mortar spot. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
she on the 23rd of July, you know, with an event space in the back. So y'all need an event space. Go to Sugar Water Beverages, book your event space. Go to the IG, inbox it. You know, birthday parties, baby showers, all of that. And then she's just learning how to be an entrepreneur, man. You know, she's 11 years old. It's a blessing to, you know, watch her bloom. And so, you know, we did, we just, same thing, took our experience and poured it into her. But she's, you know, she been around it, so she had it in her blood. She already gravitate towards it. You know, it was, you know, the main thing was not to force nothing on her. We didn't want her doing nothing that she wasn't interested in doing. And these is things that she was growing up, she would tell us. You know, every few years we'd be like, if you could sell something, what you think it would be? So she always would say lip gloss and lemonade.
Yeah.
It's lip gloss or lemonade. She'll say both of them or either one or the other. And it bloomed and she stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's moving the crowd. It's available out here. It's available in like 3 or 4 locations right now. You know what I'm saying? We still working on different things, distribution stuff. We pacing it all. Make sure y'all check it out. 2200 Chambers Road, 2 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday. Check that thing out.
Hell yeah. Okay. I also noticed, I watched that Dirty Glove interview with Jay Stalin. Y'all got a bunch of music together. He's a legend in Cali, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Bay Area,
yeah.
Pretty sure. How did y'all link up and, like, you know what I'm saying, make that connection come together so strong? Because y'all got a lot of videos out, a lot of songs.
Yeah.
How did that all come together?
Yeah. It was really organic. Like, once we linked, because my manager, Nooch, shout out to Nooch Dakotas on IG. So I met Nooch in LA. Me and DJ K-Tone was in LA going to the BET Award festivities and shit like that. It was probably damn near 20 years ago, 15, 17, something like that. But we met Nooch, and me and Nooch, he just, you know, he was somebody who identified the grind, and he seen the ambition and passion. He was with Keek the Sneak at the time. That was in front of, we was in front of the little food spot out there, or whatever, Roscoe's in Hollywood, and it was just crazy. We linked, so from there, like, we stayed in touch. And then so Nooch had invited me to a few shows. He like, you know, we got a show in Oklahoma City, and I just showed up. You know, I showed up on my own dollar, no expectations. Me and Nooch built our relationship. So from there, Nooch would invite me to shows and put me on shows, and you know, just by default, he started managing me and shit. You know, and you know, Stalin, he had relationships with all them, Jacka, Stalin, him and Mr. Fab, his cousins, Key, E40, you know, most of the motherfuckers you can name.
Yeah, I seen his catalog. He got features with everyone from the older Bay Area artists to the newer Bay Area
Yeah, Stalin do, yeah. So this is Nooch I'm talking about. So this who hooked me and Stalin up. So there was this one time where we flew to Oakland. We flew to California, and then I didn't know where the fuck we was going. We ended up in West Oakland somewhere, and at this apartment and shit, we knock on the door. Stalin opened the door. I'm like, okay. He didn't tell me where we was going. You know what I'm saying? But, so he waited for Stalin to pack his shit up. He was all like, let me finish this verse. He was in. He had a studio in the motherfucking front living room and shit. So he finished his verse. Packed up, he bring his suitcase, we leave. Later on that night, we fly to Vegas, and then, so when we travel, he would pair, you know, he'd get all us rooms and pair certain people up in rooms and shit, and he paired me and Stalin in the room together. So, Stalin tired the motherfucker. He like, nigga, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, and I'm up gambling. I keep coming back in the room. My phone had died. I keep having to get on the phone, telling my little chick to send some more bread. I'm losing hella bread. So about 8 in the morning, I finally hit. I come back in the room. Yeah, nigga. I woke him up. Yeah, nigga, I hit. He like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yeah, I did. Showed him. And he was just impressed. Like, this motherfucker here. It was just, it's just a memorable moment. You know what I'm saying? That's how our relationship started. And from there, we end up on shows together. And then he came to Denver. So Nooch brought him to Denver. And once he, came to my house, I had, the studio at the house in the basement. Control 24, cool little state-of-the-art studio. And set up and shit. And he just got comfortable recording there. Like, man, I love this shit. And it inspired him, you know what I'm saying? He like, man, you got your own crib. And, he was just a little project nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he lived in the Bay, so they was closer to all the shit. And he connected with people already and shit. But he just now really, starting to come up and get his name out there like that. And from that point on, we just built, you know what I'm saying, organically, you know what I'm saying? It got to the point where he'll start inviting me to shit. He like, man, we got a show in Sacramento at Pinkies. It's just this little spot named Pinkies in Sac. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, and it just built from there.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, being bro, that's little bro now. You know what I'm saying? And he really acknowledged the value I bring to the table, and he like, nigga, you one of my favorite artists. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, I'm Nate Artist's favorite artist.
Right.
Or one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it really ain't got nothing to do with being the dopest lyricist. And no, you know what I'm saying? I just bring a lot of value. I'm always helpful and persistent, and I just bring value to this shit. When I was on the road, like when I would go on the road with them, I would be the only motherfucker there with, you know what I'm saying, I have my duffel bag, it got books and CDs, flyers, and I had a camera around my neck, you feel me, and I had the little portable recorder, you feel me, by any means necessary. And when I get there, I'm passing out flyers, I'm putting them on tables, and, that's just how I was moving, you know what I mean? I knew I was an underdog, you know what I'm saying? You got to know what it is with you and where you trying to get to.
Right.
But through all of these different obstacles, they lead you somewhere you didn't even intend to go, you feel me? So I started gaining all this knowledge, and people look at me like, you knowledgeable, what we got to do? What does it take to do this and that? And you can't escape that shit. That's who you become. And, you know what I'm saying? You start to understand your purpose. And so people I was around start understanding my purpose, you know what I'm saying, and leave the door open for me. So Stalin, I'm grateful for, my relationship with him. Like, he's never charged me $1 for a verse. Like, our shit was organic. We 4 projects in now, you know what I'm saying? We just split everything 50-50, That's another example of just building real relationships, you know what I'm saying, like I did with my brothers and shit. And it is what it is, you feel me? That's just like how I do this shit. A lot of shit you gonna sacrifice, bite your tongue, and it really don't matter in the end. All the shit you go through evolves into greatness, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what you gonna do when you get mad? Quit, nigga? Nah, you gonna have to start all over somewhere.
Right.
You did. You know what I mean? So I believe in all of that type of stuff.
That's valid.